Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Me, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. During the Dressrosa arc, we met a new ally and pirate that was really a big fanboy of Luffy's. And little did we know that he had, or at least his fruit had, a much deeper connection to the goings-on in Wano. So today, we're going to talk about how Shanks is currently on a long hunt to defeat Bartolomeo. A hunt that Shanks isn't giving up anytime soon. And we're going to talk about the reasons why Shanks wants to defeat Bartolomeo and what this event could bring to the story. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like and even subscribe and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it keeps motivating us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, at the end of the Wano arc, one of the most exciting and impactful moments occurred when Shanks, one of the most important characters in our story, approached the coast of Wano. Now his intention was to visit and frighten Admiral Ryokugyu, one of the Navy's admirals, who was on a quest to capture Luffy a week after the great confrontation that occurred on Onigashima. Shanks has always been known for his exceptional skills and strength. At least, that's what he's known for. So he decided to step in and protect Luffy and the citizens of Wano, demonstrating an immensely powerful hockey skill and was able to intimidate Admiral Ryokugyu from miles away. And this moment further revealed the importance of Shanks in the story and left fans eager to discover the reason for his visit, as well as the unfolding points of this new plot. Now, though Shanks and his crew were very interested in finding and reuniting with Luffy after so many years, Shanks made it quite clear that such a meeting just wasn't going to happen at this time. So surprisingly, he revealed that he was looking for Bartolomeo, one of the captains of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet, who had been causing problems for Shanks around the world. So Bartolomeo is a pirate that we met during the Dressrosa arc, and it's a character notable for his loyalty to Luffy, to the point of almost fanboyness, as well as his eccentric nature, and he's been going around conquering islands that had formerly belonged to Shanks and replacing the flags with the Straw Hats' Jolly Roger. These actions gradually began to diminish Shanks' fame and notoriety and put him in an uncomfortable and challenging position. So thus, Shanks decided to take drastic measures to face Bartolomeo and regain his reputation and face that he had lost. So he was determined to take the troublesome captain's life and finally begin his own quest for the legendary treasure known as the One Piece, a goal that many pirates have aspired to achieve. However, Shanks knows probably better than most that for the search of this treasure to happen, it's not going to be an easy path to take. And he was aware that along with his journey, he would inevitably run into Luffy, who is also in the search for this very same treasure. And this anticipation of the long-awaited reunion between Shanks and Luffy has only increased fans' anticipation all the more. This meeting between Shanks and Luffy promises to be an exciting moment full of revelations, as both characters have a connected history since the very beginning of our series. Now Shanks, who was once a member of the legendary Goldie Roger crew, the former Pirate King, has played a crucial role in Luffy's life by giving him his iconic straw hat, which has become the symbol not only for his crew, but the symbol of his journey and his most prized possession. This reunion between Shanks and Luffy would bring up many questions and mysteries, because Shanks is an incredibly enigmatic figure with secrets that haven't been revealed for quite a long time. Now his motivation to find the One Piece, his past, as well as his hidden intentions are aspects that have piqued fans' curiosity and kept the One Piece narrative full of emotion and twists for possibly decades at this point. But consequently, the final reunion between Shanks and Luffy is going to become one of the most memorable moments in this story's history. And it's also going to have profound implications for the world of One Piece. And fans are eagerly awaiting to witness the dynamic between these two charismatic characters and find out exactly how their stories are going to intertwine once again, and whether it's going to be for friendly reasons or perhaps even more sinister reasons. You see, now that Shanks has this goal in mind, he's going to go to any lengths possible to defeat Bartolomeo, and possibly even take his life. By imagining what could happen to Bartolomeo if Shanks managed to find him, we enter a world full of speculation and rather exciting possibilities. It's quite possible that this event could happen very soon, and there are many factors that could end up influencing the outcome of the meeting between these two characters, such as their motivations, their skills, and even the relationships that they've developed throughout the series. And there's even been speculation about how good Bartolomeo's barrier fruit really is, and can Shanks's just pure indomitable will and hockey level break through it. But before exploring the potential consequences of this encounter, it's really important to contextualize Bartolomeo's importance in the One Piece story. Now, Bartolomeo is a captain of the Straw Hats Grand Fleet, which is an alliance of pirates that formed after the events of Dressrosa, and he's known to be a great admirer of Luffy and a very passionate supporter of his cause. Since his very first appearance, Bartolomeo has shown an unwavering devotion to Luffy and the Straw Hats, and his devotion was such that he did not hesitate to plant the Straw Hats flag on islands previously conquered by Shanks, and this aroused the ire of the mighty red-haired captain. These actions by Bartolomeo dealt a blow to Shanks' reputation across the world, because the placement of the flag posed a challenge and diminished Shanks' influences on the affected islands, in addition to further empowering the Straw Hats' own position in the world. Now, the importance of the reputation, dynamic, and influence in a world dominated by pirates, Shanks is now determined to stand up against Bartolomeo and restore his prestige. So a meeting between these two could take place in some different scenarios, such as on an isolated island or even in a confrontation on the high seas. The implications moving forward from this meeting would be enormous, not only for Bartolomeo's trajectory, but also for the future of Shanks as well as his search for the legendary treasure, the One Piece. Because if Shanks managed to locate Bartolomeo, the first aspect that could influence the outcome of this encounter would be the personality and motivations of each character. Bartolomeo is known for his irreverent and flamboyant attitude, and also his deep respect and loyalty to Luffy. So it'd be interesting to see how Bartolomeo would react to the presence of Shanks, a very revered pirate throughout the One Piece world. On the other hand, Shanks is still a character that is shrouded in a lot of mystery, with very little information about his true motivations as well as his goals. And his attitudes towards Bartolomeo could range from an aggressive stance, seeking revenge for the pirate's daring, to a more diplomatic approach, wishing to establish an understanding or at least an agreement with Bartolomeo before proceeding. Another important factor that's worth mentioning is to consider the strength and abilities of both characters. Now, Shanks is one of the Yonko, one of the 4 most powerful pirates in the One Piece world, and he possesses a legendary level of haki and is skilled in hand-to-hand combat, in addition to possessing one of the legendary blades, the sword known as Griffin. But as I mentioned earlier, Bartolomeo is also a formidable fighter and known for his unique ability to create a protective barrier around himself through his fruit called the Bartolomeo, or barrier fruit. And this fruit gives the user the ability to create a nearly impenetrable defense and the ability to launch powerful attacks through those barriers. But despite having this fruit, we still have to know that there is a very large difference in power between these two characters. But this could also lead to different outcomes for the confrontation, because if Bartolomeo is willing to face Shanks head on, he could end up witnessing a considerably short battle due to Shanks' incredible power. If that ends up being the case, Bartolomeo would need to use all of his potential and his creativity to try and overcome Shanks' strength and experience. And this battle could reveal new facets of both characters' abilities as well as offer exciting action moments. Then again, there's also that possibility that the meeting between Shanks and Bartolomeo will not come down to a direct physical confrontation. Shanks could easily opt for a more nuanced approach, seeking to understand the motivations and reasons behind Bartolomeo's actions. Given Shanks' background as an insightful and cunning character, he could try to find a diplomatic way to resolve the issue, presenting convincing arguments or even revealing unknown information about the world of One Piece. So it would definitely be interesting to explore Shanks' motivation regarding the One Piece treasure and how he might convince Bartolomeo to join him, because Shanks could end up sharing information about the past of Goldie Roger, our former pirate king, or even reveal details about the true nature of the One Piece and its importance to the overall world. This more diplomatic approach could open up space for Bartolomeo to reconsider his actions and team up with Shanks in pursuit of that treasure, because Bartolomeo is a character who idolizes Luffy and the Straw Hats, but he also has his very own dreams and ambitions as a pirate, and he could indeed team up with Shanks if their goals were the same, as well as the fact that Shanks is Luffy's mentor. So Bartolomeo might even look upon Shanks with even more reverence because Shanks is the person that motivated Luffy to go out to sea in the first place. So ultimately, when these two pirates cross paths, it could result in a reflection point where we could see the different paths that pirates can follow in pursuit of their goals. And Bartolomeo could represent an alternative view of piracy, where friendship and loyalty are much more central, and Shanks could embody the more balanced perspective, combining friendship as well as ambition in his pursuit of the One Piece. So ultimately, what would happen to Bartolomeo should Shanks manage to find him would really depend on a number of factors, including the motivations, personalities, and abilities of the characters involved. We also have to wonder what would happen if Luffy was in proximity as well. So we could witness an intense and spectacular battle between two formidable pirates, or a more deep and reflective dialogue about the ideals and ambitions that drive the characters in the One Piece story. But regardless of the outcome, the meeting between Shanks and Bartolomeo would certainly provide exciting moments and surprising revelations for us readers. And it might even reveal what Shanks' ambitions actually are. And this is something that we actually know absolutely nothing about so far, because Shanks is a completely mysterious character who could be hiding a very large secret that could change the entire world of One Piece. However, we're only going to discover this possible secret once the meeting of Shanks and Bartolomeo occurs. So with all that said, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about it. First off, when do you think we might get to see this reunion or this crossing of paths between Shanks and Bartolomeo? And how close is Bartolomeo to everything that's just been happening not only in Wano, but on Egghead Island? Because Barto could have been near Wano looking for Luffy to share all of the great things that he's done in the world. So what if Barto finds out what's going on Egghead Island and decides to show up and gets caught in the middle of the fray? Now, we all know that Shanks is currently on Elbaf because he just got done dealing with Eustace Kid. But we also know that Shanks has this uncanny ability to travel between islands in incredibly fast manners. So what if he too finds out what's going on? Or perhaps the airship that Wapol and Vivi are on goes by and he decides to follow and discover what's going on. There's no telling what could end up making all of these paths crossed. So what do you think is going to happen once they do? And how do you think Luffy will get involved if he were to see this confrontation between Shanks and Bartolomeo? Let us know what you think about that and when we might get a chance to see this in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video today, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Be sure to comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.